No, it just
Oh,
the
so it's
timer.
waiting.
The timer just stopped, and that was it. I don't know.
It says waiting for us. Why does it say waiting?
It doesn't.
We're here.
Or I mean, it
just-
does, but
I just did that.
we're here. Stupid YouTube.
We are here, people. Oh,
Hold on. Whoa. I guess they target those ads.
Oh, dear. They follow you, that's for sure. Oh, dear.
Okay. So, go ahead.
No, we're waiting. We're waiting.
Go ahead. I mean, I know technically we don't need to see ourselves,
But we
but
want to see.
well, and I also want to make sure that it's working. Come on, man.
Hi guys, we're here, but we have a black screen, so we're.
There we go.
Are.
Now there I am rolling my eyes at YouTube. Whatever. We're here.
Here we are.
I'm just looking because the camera that I see is here. So
Yeah.
it's just interesting to see how much more. I'm also making sure that they can't see anything they're not supposed to see.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I got to tell you. Actually, I'll tell you. I'm not going to tell them. I wouldn't trust any of them with a secret.
Me neither.
Wow.
Definitely not.
Definitely would not trust you guys with my secrets.
Look at this. You two are the cutest thing.
Barb bought us our beautiful headbands.
There you go.
I will not promise that mine's going to last more than 5 minutes
know.
because it's already giving me a headache.
It's falling off.
Shall we just wish them happy holidays and take them off?
That's fine.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Happy Hanukkah, which I think is over. Kwanzaa, New Year's, all the good stuff. We'll see you before New Year's, but yeah, this is hurting my noggin. I gotta take it off. Oh, okay.
You just want me to look silly by myself.
Yes.
That's okay. I'm gonna keep it on.
So I was in the airport. Okay, I am very tender-headed. I cannot stand anything on. I don't like my hair up. Hats, but they have to be loose. This girl, and I was like, "Oh, you're young. You haven't quite experienced what it is." She's got her hair pulled back real tight with a claw clip. That in itself would put me over the edge. I would have a migraine. Then she has on headphones.
Oh my
full
God.
headphones.
That would drive me crazy.
A headband.
Oh my gosh.
And glasses.
She's trying to hold her head
I was
together
like,
or something?
girl, that just looks uncomfortable on every level. But I was like,
Exactly.
whatever. She's happy. She's living her life.
Yeah.
I can't do it. That was just so much stimulation. I was like, my head would just fall off my shoulders. It would roll away.
I got something for Zena. She says, happy good morning from cloudy, chilly Florida. It was 15 degrees at my house this morning, Zena.
No offense, not taking away from your cloudy, chilly Florida.
Yeah.
The current sunshiny temperature right now is 25.
It's going up 10 degrees.
It
wow.
has, but I mean it's 25.
Yeah, I know.
So listen, I'll
Enjoy
take your chilly Florida and I'll up you 25 degrees.
It's falling off.
Okay. So we have some stuff to chit chat about. So we're getting right into it. This is our last YouTube before Christmas. Not that we really take a break, but whatever, it's fine. We are what we are.
We're not doing one next Friday?
I said not that we ever do. We ever take a break.
Oh, okay.
No.
You said the last one.
Wasn't before Christmas.
Oh, before Christmas. Oh,
it's okay.
Duh.
Barb's been quilting a lot. Let's have an update from Barb. How's the quilting? Are you done?
I'm done for Christmas.
Woo! Yay! Congratulations. Oh, there always is. But you're done for, when was your last Christmas quilt done?
3 days ago.
That's not that bad.
That's not that bad. I had to meet somebody, so I had to drive a half an hour to drop it off because the lady lives over.
But she still has time to get binding on.
Yeah.
So we're good to go. So that's good. So good updates from Barb. Barb might also have stuff to contribute later when we talk about things we've bought that we like and don't like.
Lord.
There might be something that pops into your head as we're talking.
Oh gosh.
So
okay, I'll have to think.
First things first, we're going to talk about the New Year's Eve mystery. That means it's a secret. Got it? Got it? Secret.
I got it.
So long.
I don't even know what it is.
Listen, y'all, you don't like secrets. And that's fine. I totally understand. But just remember, it's voluntary. And if you don't want to do a mystery, you don't have to. But I'm not answering any more questions. You need to.
They're hoping that you'll slip.
I'm not going to, because I have made this decision. It is done. So I'm going to give you the information that I am willing to share with you. And if it is not enough information for you, that is fine. I am not judging anybody. I'm not here to judge. I'm not a judgy person. You've done mysteries before. I don't like mysteries. So listen, I wouldn't do it myself, but it's totally fine. I just thought it might be something kind of fun. something different that I don't normally do. And maybe I can get out of my own comfort zone and I'll be like, oh, mysteries are kind of cool. You've done several, haven't you? Like quilts and stuff?
Over the years, yeah.
It's not my thing. When someone gives me a supply list and is like, go, I'm like, but I can't.
Some I've liked, some
you
not
haven't.
So much, you know.
You probably would have picked differently had you seen the finished project.
Even placement of fabric. I like the combination, but I might not like where it's put.
So I'm not here to judge, but I'm gonna tell you to quit it, okay? Quit it. So here's what you are allowed to have. You can ask as many questions as you want on January 1st when the pattern's out.
There you go.
How about that? So this is the sheet. These are my notes. This is the sheet that you can download. So let's go through the basics of it again. Why did I have to pay $10 for this mystery sew along? The reason is you're pre-ordering your pattern. So the pattern's not out yet. It's not available until January 1st. You're getting it first. So when January 1st comes and that listing is there that says, hey, new pattern, you can get it for free. The coupon code that is on your sheet is for later. It's for the pattern because you already paid for it. I'm not going to have you pay for it twice. But I also didn't want to give out a supply list with some pertinent information, you know, just willy-nilly here. It's not a free pattern. It's a $10 pattern. So your $10 already bought you that pattern already. So when the pattern is out, you take that code that's down here. I'm looking at it right here. That code is not valid yet. Don't try it. It's not going to do anything. I mean, you're just wasting your own time. You're going to take that and you're going to get the pattern for free. Why? Because as of this morning, there were like 87 of you signed up. Can you believe that?
Oh, wow.
I'm blown away. That's going to be awesome. So that means there's like a
possibly Shayna. So that's 89.
89. There's like a minimum of 89 of you hanging out with me, which is awesome. But because of that, because I was originally like, well, I'll just email it to them. The files are large. Emails don't go through. It becomes chaotic. And then my entire New Year's Day, which I have different plans, that just becomes a whole thing. So all you do is you go to my website like you normally do. You're like, there's the pattern. Here's my code. And it goes from $10 to $0. Nobody else gets that because they didn't pre-order it. So only you get that privilege. So that's what the code is for. Where is the sew along going to be? Right here on YouTube Live. I already did a little I don't know. I'm not good with the words. No.
Preview?
No. I already put it on as a scheduled event.
Oh, okay.
I got it. I'll get there eventually.
You already put it on the calendar.
Well, it's on the YouTube. It's on the YouTube. It's on the tubes. So it's already there. It says, hey, here we are on 12/31/23. Here we are. And it starts at 2 p.m., 2 p.m. my time. I don't know what time that is for you. I know what time that is for some of you, but not all of you. So 2 p.m. New York. So if you are not in New York, see what time it needs to be for you. It's that's the best I can tell you. Okay. So at 2 p.m. our time, I will be here. Eric will be here. I hope Barb and Shayna are going to be here. That's our hope. We're going to try. A couple of other.
Convince her. She's not a bag maker worse than me.
Well, it'll be fun though.
I know. That's why I want.
She won't have to think.
Exactly.
You know. Christy is going to be here, and the reason Christy is here because it's her birthday. Happy almost your birthday, and also. The bag was named after Christy's daughter. There's your big hint. It's named after a girl. You happy? Okay, so we're going to have a little get together here, and Eric is going to be moderating. So,
oh, Lord.
Good luck to all of you. That's why I have a backup.
Tricia says, does Eric know? Maybe we can bribe him to tell us. I wouldn't even waste my time, Tricia.
No, because Eric knows a lot of stuff, but Eric doesn't retain information. Yeah. Eric is like, it's like watering a plant with a lot of holes in the bottom of the pot. It goes in, it sits for a minute, and then it's gone. He does not remember a lot of stuff. He'd be like, I don't know, that one. He doesn't know anything. So you can by all means ask him, but he's not going to tell you because he doesn't know anything. So can you use a directional print? Yes, absolutely. In fact, in 2 of them that I could think of, I use a directional print. So absolutely. And there's nothing that's being weirdly folded that you're going to be like, it kind of works. It 100% works. Use your cats, your trees, your buildings, whatever you want to use, anything that has direction. It is fine. So if you look at these supplies right up at the top, you have your cork for the main part or a fat quarter of cotton plus interfacing. So do you think it's raw edge? Barb's like, I'm done thinking. It's not.
No, not
so
you
can use cotton, you can use canvas, like the canvas we use here. You can use cork. Can you use vinyl? Can you use lightweight leather? Can you use anything you want? Yes. You know your machine better than I do. I have tested this on a domestic, as I do everything. I'm going to tell you right now, all the components put together on my domestic, it was much happier with the canvas. Did I get through all the components with cork? Yes. She was a little miffed at me. Okay. It went through, but she wasn't super happy about it. It's just the way that it is. So I gave you the option to skip one of the parts. Will it change the look of the bag? Yes. Will it change the functionality? No. Could you take those two pieces and cut them out of fabric so it's a little bit lighter? Yes. You have those options. The only thing that is raw edge is the handle, because the directions include cork handles. Now, does that mean you can do them out of cotton if you want to? Yes. I'm not going to tell you how to do that because you already know how to do that. If you have not done a handle, if you aren't familiar with handles, if you just want another walkthrough of handles, I wrote down where you can go watch videos. If you're doing a bifold like this, if you're doing the double fold handle, 2 layers of cork, because you want to reduce thickness, go watch the Alice video. It's going to show you how to do it. I'm not talking about hardware, but I want you to have your handle pieces sewn together, one long strip, and top stitch, because that takes a lot of time. That's the only prep work, aside from cutting, I'm asking you to do. If you want to do a trifold handle, which is my preference, go watch the Margie video. That has a trifold handle. Somebody asked in one of the questions on a question, the question sandwiches, how do you reduce bulk if you're doing a trifold? Like this, right sides together, 90 or 45-degree angle, and you open it up. It's like quilting. It's a bias fold. If you want to see that and you want to see how I prep it, Margie, already done for you. So you can watch either of those videos to see how to make a handle. Don't worry about anything else. Don't worry about hardware. Have it nearby. We're going to do that together. I just want your handle top stitched. That's it. We're going to work through together. It's going to be one of those where I'm like, here's what we're doing now. Everybody see? Sew here, do this. And then I'm going to sew. So you have the time while I'm sewing. Eric's going to be reading, answering questions, doing that. I'm going to go, all right, we ready? I'm ready. Let's go to our next step. If you get behind, who cares? It doesn't matter. This is all for fun. And if you just want to sit and watch, it's free on YouTube, just like this. So if you're like, you know what? I'm not really good with the mystery. I don't want to cut anything, prep anything. I don't know if I really want to do this. Maybe I just want to pre-order the pattern. Just hang out and watch us. That's totally fine. You are not obligated to do anything. What I'm hoping happens is that a bunch of you get it done and you post it in the group and everyone's like, where's that pattern? And I'm like, you got to wait till tomorrow. They got it first. I just think that'll be fun. The full tutorial has been filmed. It is not edited yet, but it will be by the time we go live. So you can rewatch basically this live version of a tutorial, just like you can with these videos. And you'll also have the serious Jessica mode camera overhead, that tutorial for reference as well. Okay. Was that everything? Oh, one last thing. Okay. A lot of you like paper copies of your patterns, which is fine. I have no issue with that. You know the drill. You order the pattern, you write a note. Please write a note when you order the pattern, when you do it for free. Because as of right now, I can't keep track of all of the things. I'm just going through and looking at all the signups. When you get your pattern, add a note. It may be delayed. Long story short, our printer went out of business. I have a giant copier coming to be delivered here so I can print my own patterns.
When is it coming?
January 2nd. Oh. Trust me, it's not the most exciting thing I've ever spent money on, but it is what it is, because sometimes you get to the point where you're tired of people doing stuff for you and relying on people that can't do it right, so you do it yourself. So there may be a delay if you want a paper pattern. You might not get it immediately. I'm just letting you know, you will get it, but that's just kind of how it is.
Do it.
I got to learn how, I got to get this set up. I got to make a spot for it.
Yeah, really.
So.
She's got to teach me how to do it too, just in case.
All right. That's all the stuff that I'm telling you. Okay. I think that was it. I mean, basically, if you're using cotton for A through D or N, as it says right here, you're interfacing it. If you're using waterproof canvas for N, which you can, you don't interface waterproof canvas. Other than that, it's all about what your machine can handle. So if you want to use some heavy vinyl and your machine can go through it, that's fine. It's totally up to you.
Waterproof canvas for the whole thing?
You could. People do like to use it for the outside. I have never, but I've seen a lot of bags. I love waterproof canvas because I don't have to interface anything.
Yeah.
If I use cork outside and waterproof canvas inside, like for this and for other projects, I don't have to interface anything, which means cutting, you're done, and then you're ready to sew.
How do you get the seams to stay open, or you don't?
We don't worry about that.
Okay. I'm just curious because I know you can't iron it.
You can iron it from the front.
You can.
You can.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but you have to be careful if you're ironing something. You don't want to touch that rubbery side because it'll melt. But no, I have ironed my seams before, but most of the time I just don't.
Oh, okay.
That's why I like using my HD9 because I don't iron anything. And if I use waterproof canvas, I don't interface anything. The iron never gets turned on. It's awesome. So, any other questions that are reasonable that you think I will answer before we move on from our mystery sew along, which I'm very excited about.
Exactly.
I just haven't decided what I'm making it out of. Because I cut yesterday to do the video, and then I was like, oh no, what am I going to do next week? And I haven't decided yet. So I'm in the same boat as a lot of you. I will probably make that decision like the day before. It might be.
She looked at cork. She's got a couple.
She's got some ideas. Okay.
Yeah.
If you need ideas like that, we're fine with like a color ideas. But like, I'm not telling you where your cell phone goes and if it'll fit your chapstick and what size the pockets. Stop it. Stop it. Okay. So, is that everything?
Big fat wallet fit in it?
Your big fat wallet doesn't fit in anything but a tourist tote bag. All right. That is a big. Okay. It is a big wallet. All right, done, right? We're done?
With that segment.
Okay, so
moving on.
I want to tell you about my weekend adventure, my time with an industrial sewing machine, and then we're going to talk about things I bought this year that I would buy again and things that I would never buy again. There's not a lot on the never list, but there's enough. There's enough that I'm like, so
you should warn me.
I know. You can always contribute next week. We're gonna be here. Okay. So
I can think of one thing that I didn't buy, but I would never buy it.
All right.
You gave it to me to try.
Oh geez. Okay.
So how about that?
So how about that?
You bought it.
You bought it, and I hated it. Okay. So this past weekend and early this week, I was in St. Louis. Now, I always say St. Louis because that's where you fly into. I was technically in Illinois, but I just say St. Louis. It's the closest city that is referenceable. So I was with Lauren from Mormino, helping her to set up her classroom. Now, in setting up, did I move industrial machines and run wires? No, I didn't do any of that. It was more come and sew and see what we don't have, see what we need, see what you would move around, see if it's comfortable, like are the aisles too small, like all that kind of stuff. Same thing. I did something very similar here, just kind of like going through and making sure that everything made sense, that everything was there. Yeah. So I brought projects with me and I brought some cork with me. I brought 0 tools. I didn't even bring a pair of scissors because I was like, part of me wants to have my own things because it's comforting. Yeah. You want your own stuff. But also, especially for the first trip, if I brought my own things, I wouldn't see what she maybe needed to buy. Mm-hmm. I brought nothing, like 0. And the only thing that I lacked for, there were 2 very minor things. One was I needed a pin. I needed a pin to make a curved zipper. And Lauren swears there were pins somewhere. We couldn't find them. But Jade from Heartwood and Hyde was also there and helped me with her little technique using a lighter on a zipper, okay. Really? Which it's not like I've never heard of it before. It's not like I've never done it, but watching someone do it in front of you and explain their logic of how they do it, I was like, oh, that's awesome. Huh. So like, is it my favorite way that I'll always do? I don't know, but I didn't have a pin and it worked really nicely. So it's like, little things like that. The other thing that I desperately wanted, but I got by, I wanted a pressing clapper. But Lauren doesn't use pressing clappers. So when it's not on your radar, you don't get that stuff. So, I mean, minor things. And so, like, I would just like tell her, like, do you have this? Oh, yeah, I have that. She had everything so organized. Like, it was all of my tools and my stuff is all on our cutting table. They're all accessible. Hers are like in bins. They're hanging on pegboards. Like she has wall space. We don't have wall space.
No.
That is the
We have
issue here.
windows.
We have windows.
Lots.
We have space, but we don't have walls. So we don't have a lot of space to hang things. So everything is organized. If you are going there for a class and you're flying there and you're like, oh God, what am I going to do with all my things? Don't worry about it. Rotary cutters, rulers, seam rippers, tape, double stick tape, lighters, everything that you need when you're making a bag. Like, what could you possibly need? So I would say if you were going there, if you were taking a class and there's that one tool that you can't live without, you know, that one thing that is just like, I just don't feel right when I'm sewing without this, bring that. That's fine. But other than that, don't stress about it. She had everything. And it was, I mean, I was impressed because, of course, I'm walking in there and Lauren kind of sets me up. She's like, you have the most teaching experience. So, like, I'm looking for your expertise here. And I get there and I'm like,
oh,
there's nothing to contribute. I'm like, I feel like I almost feel kind of stupid because I'm like, I don't know, there's nothing to tell you. But that means she did such an amazing job that there really wasn't much. I did shine. I did help with the contract because that is where I shine because I have been teaching for 18 years and I'm like, yes, this is good and this is not good. So I did help her with that. I felt much better. I was like, I have nothing to contribute. Sewing on an industrial. I got to spend 2 whole days sewing on an industrial. And up until this point, I would say I had zero experience. Like I sewed about that much when we were in St. Louis for Sew Magical. Yeah. It was one of those like, here, throw it on there and try it out. And I was like, wow, that goes fast. And then somehow I unthreaded the machine and that was the end of it. I don't know what I did. So I'm like, I don't know how to sew on an industrial. And
are they that much different?
No, not yes and no. And so this is the thing. And this is why I'm glad to share this because I know a lot of people are like, I don't know if I want to sew on an industrial. They're super intimidating when you don't know because you're looking at this massive machine and you know how fast it goes and how sturdy it is. But the thing is, it's not that much different from your machine. It's just a matter of like, okay, so we're used to doing this to lift up our foot, or we have a knee lift. This has a knee lift, but it's not the regular like L-shaped knee lift. It's under the table. So it's on the side. It's like a disc. And you can adjust it. That was the one thing I was struggling with because I sew with my left foot. So I am not used to sew, like, I'm like, I need the pedal over this way and the knee lift. I can't sew with my right foot anymore because I'm so used to using a knee lift. I couldn't quite get it adjusted. It took me like a little while to get the knee lift just right. Once I did, I was fine. Had to adjust my chair. Like I sat down and I was like, I'm way too low on the ground. I can't reach anything. So like once I got myself kind of situated, it was fine. The one thing with the foot pedal that threw me off a little bit is our foot pedals are very angled and they're on the floor. So if it's not where you want it, you just shoot, like you just scoot it with your foot. This is attached to the bottom of the table. So it's staying.
It's there. It's not going anywhere.
And the angle is less because of the way that it's attached. So you have to move your foot forward to push.
Gotcha.
The other thing is to lift your needle, you have to hit it. She always says heel tap, which I cannot do. I have to do it with my toe. You have to hit the back of the pedal and you have to make sure that you hit it and it lifts the needle up.
Gotcha.
And then you use your knee lift and it lifts the foot and then you take it out. There's no scissor button. That doesn't exist. You pull the thread out and you cut it. So you kind of, it's very much similar to like an HD9 or a mechanical machine more than a domestic because we're so used to all the bells and whistles. Hit your scissor button, hit this. Like it doesn't do that. It's a very basic machine. Exactly. So now I run out of bobbin and I'm like, oh no, I don't know how to do this. And I want to change my thread color. Now on one of the walls are these magnetic strips that have a bunch of pre-wound bobbins. So I was kind of being a baby about it and I kept using those, but I was like, I really do want to know because not that I have one, but if I'm in a class teaching and it's something easy that someone's like, I ran out of bobbin or I want a different color, I would like to at least be able to assist with that. I don't like having zero knowledge of the machine that's being used. It's happened to me many times in classes where I've gone and machine sponsored rooms. And not every domestic is the same. We all know that. It's just like getting in someone else's car and figuring out where the buttons are. So I'm like, sometimes being in those rooms in shows, I'm like, where's the 1/4 inch on this machine? I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't help you.
Yeah.
So I was like, if I know that I'm going to be here and I'm going to be helping or teaching a class in this room, show me how to do the basic functions. Threading it was almost identical to my HD9.
Oh, okay.
It was not hard at all. Like there's a couple of weird little things, which there always are on mechanical machines. Once I got it threaded, it was fine. It wasn't hard at all.
Mm-hmm.
The bobbin is different. The bobbin is on the side. So I was using the Juki 1181. She also has Thor. I don't remember which ones. I did not sew on one of those, so I don't know the difference. But the 1181, I feel very comfortable on. Winding the bobbin was very funny because it's on the side. I was like, huh? I'm like, what do you mean? Like it's like all the way over.
My mother's original machine way back, and it was a domestic. No, it was a domestic, but the bobbin was wound on the side.
So there's like a little contraption in the back where you loop your thread through. You put it on the bobbin, you hit the bobbin on it, and there's like a button to push up. It was very strange because most machines are on the top.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay. And once I did it, it wasn't bad. It was different, but they're not as intimidating as you think. Like you look at these monsters and you're like, I can't sew on that. Just remember that the majority of what you're looking at is the table because they're in a table. You have all this room and then you have the machine. The machines were not hard to use. And the other thing is too, these machines, because they're industrial, they sew thousands and thousands of stitches per minute. You do not have to sew that fast. There is a little thing down here where the switch is that you bump the stitching down. So we all started at 500.
Okay.
My Janome is 1600 stitches per minute. So I was like, okay, 500 until I get used to it. By the end of the weekend, I bumped it up to 1200. I was like, I'm comfortable now going a little faster. You have to get used to the foot because I love my compensating feet. It's not a compensating foot, but that's okay. But it's just, little things to get used to. But if you are considering taking a class at her shop or at a So Magical event that's in an industrial room, don't be afraid of the machine. I can assure you I was terrified going into it thinking, I don't know what I'm doing. What if I break it? What if I sew through my hand? You're going to be fine. I was like, I could do this. I could definitely, this is not that hard.
Mm-hmm.
And I was sitting next to Erica from Lavender and Twine, who I freaking love, by the way. Oh my God. She is one of the sweetest. She's so cool. Neither one of us sew on industrials, and I thought she did. So she was like, I have no idea what I'm doing either. And I was like, awesome. So we both kind of figured it out. And by the end of it, we're cranking out bags. I finished 4 projects.
Wow.
I did not start them all. One was cut out, 2 were started, and 1 was from scratch. I made that poppy.
Oh yeah.
And I did them all in 2 days. She cut out and sewed 2 of her new pattern. It was just really cool just to be with people that you kind of vibe with, that we're all on the same page. And then the person next to me was like, oh, this is what I sew on all the time. Let me give you some help. I did try the cylinder arm. I was not a huge fan of it because I only sewed on it for 10 minutes. That is something you really need to get used to, because when you have all this surface that supports your stuff, and then you go to a cylinder arm, which is basically this big, and there's no support because it's there for top stitching.
Gotcha.
It was throwing me off because I did not know what to do with myself, and it's higher. It's set higher.
Okay. Yeah.
I would definitely need a few solid days of nonstop sewing on it to get used to it. I did not enjoy my 10-minute experience because it was just too chaotic. And I was like, I don't know about this. But if I had the opportunity to sit for a few hours, I'm sure it would be fine. It was just very oh. But I am going to be teaching there. I don't have the calendar yet. I don't have the projects done yet, but we're talking. So I will be back and I'm very excited.
Cindy says the cylinder arm does come with a flatbed attachment.
Some of them do, some of them don't. Yes, this one is purely a cylinder arm. I couldn't even tell you which one it was. I'm not saying it stay away from that. No, I'm just, for me, it wasn't enough time. It's throwing me into anything brand new and being like, here you go, you've 10 minutes, figure it out. I don't know what I'm doing. Mm-hmm. There was somebody on that machine all weekend, so that's why it wasn't fully accessible. But I was like, I would love to just try to top stitch something. And part of it was me because I wasn't like, I don't know. I wasn't
used to that.
I wasn't used to it. And I wasn't totally like, it probably wasn't the right project to top stitch because it had a flap. It was my mom's Christmas present. And I was like kind of awkward about it. And I was tired from the day before. I wasn't in like the best condition to be using it. But it just takes some getting used to when you're trying to top stitch something and there's no support at all. It was very, strange. Because even when we use the free arm on our domestic, we're still on a table. This thing is just like a cliff. You just drop off the edge. It's open because it's just there. Think about a factory that's like making shoes or something. It's just this skinny little thing with a foot. And for me, it was very overwhelming. So I'm gonna take my time. Maybe the next time I'm around, I can play around on it a little bit more. It was so overwhelming. But the industrials were really cool. So I had a great time. Good. I liked them. Not hard. Yes. No.
Are you gonna teach on industrials?
That is all that she has. So yes.
So apparently,
so I will not obviously be sewing unless I needed to demo something, but you guys in the classroom would be sewing on the industrials. It definitely is something that I think I went into this prior to a conversation that I had with Lauren thinking, I'll never teach here because I don't know industrials and my patterns aren't written for industrials. It's not going to work. And Lauren was like, you can literally teach any of your patterns on here. There's only really one thing you have to remember, and that is plain cotton on interface cotton. Machine's not going to like it. I did close a pocket just to like try it out because it was a sample. Who cares? It bunched up. That machine is way too strong for plain cotton without interfacing. So that's one thing that I would change for that pattern if I was teaching it as a class. Other than that, because I'm thinking I don't belong here teaching because I don't use industrials, but anyone can. And it's kind of funny because normally we're like, how do we thin this pattern out to make it for a domestic? Now I'm like, how do I beef it up to make sure the industrial's happy? So it was a different train of thought, but it was really interesting. And I love to learn stuff. I love to like to learn new things and to say, oh, actually, I know how to thread that, or like I've sewn on one, or here's how you lift your foot. I like having all that basic knowledge, So it was really fun. Makes me feel not so out of touch.
So when are we getting one?
Everybody keeps saying that, and I'm not saying I don't want one like ever, but it also doesn't fit. It doesn't fit what we do here. Like if I start sewing on that, then that completely bumps out the home machines. If I had one, it would be for fun, maybe like a video of you watching me fumble through playing with tension or something, but it's not going to be something. I don't make bags to sell. If you were making bags to sell, like Cheryl does and like Lauren does, if you're doing stuff like that, or if that is your core audience, Lauren has had an industrial for 7 years. That is her audience of teaching people how to use an industrial. Now she does industrial classes. I don't. So like, do I think they're really cool? Yes. I think they're better priced than I imagined that they were. I always thought they were like long arm pricing.
Really?
They're not. They're actually sometimes less expensive than like an HD9. But you have to remember they're not portable. So like if we had one, it would stay in one place. It's not, it wouldn't fit in my house. And it's not something you can take back and forth. It would be a fun, cool thing to play with if the time came, I had the space, the budget worked out, but it's not going to be something.
Expensive toy.
Yeah, I mean, definitely not something that I'm going to use all the time because of what I do for my business. If I was selling bags, I'd want one in a heartbeat. Because your stitching is beautiful and you can go through anything. And now you can do thick layers of cork and leather and vinyl and stuff. I still do everything on a domestic for you guys, So I'm not saying it's like, I never want to buy one, but I'm not like, oh, let's get one today. That it would just be a foolish purchase right now. But someday I'll probably go, well, I caved and I bought one. It all depends on how the years go,
Just don't mention it to Eric. Because he'll buy it for you.
No, because Eric will want to play with it.
Exactly.
But it was cool.
And get it, Jess.
I feel, he would totally be like, just buy one. I feel calmer about it. Like I feel more confident teaching a class because I'm not like, I don't know how to use that machine. Don't ask me. I can be like, no, here's how you do that. Or here's where you line up to get your seam allowance, that kind of stuff. So I enjoyed it very much. And we had a couple of Floridians with us who were not enjoying the cold weather. And it was very comical. It's so cold out. And I was like, it's like 40. It's not that bad. That was the best part. I'm like, listen, it's fine. Like, it's actually kind of warm.
Yeah, really.
Which is just funny.
Oh my gosh.
So it was a very cool thing. So, cool experience. And I don't know. Cool. So I think that was everything for that adventure. I still hate flying. So it's not a fear. I just don't like it. I just don't like being confined. I also don't like when they tell you that the plane's not full and someone insists on sitting in the middle seat.
Don't you love that? It's crazy.
Just back.
Yeah.
Do I really look that friendly? Because I'm going to say no. I'm like, just don't sit by me. So, yeah, live and learn. Whatever. I have to look even more unfriendly than I normally do.
Look really bitchy.
I can try. I don't even try sometimes. It happens. So, but apparently I looked a little too friendly.
Apparently you are.
They're announcing on, like, we are not full. You don't have to cram into seats. There's tons of seats in the back. And they're like, oh, can I sit between you and this person? I'm like, no, please go away. I should have worn the sweatshirt I bought from Nicole. It says, don't be a prick. But it has a tomato, like a pin cushion. Yeah. So like we get it, but someone else would be like, okay, yeah, really? Rude. Totally should have brought that.
Yeah, really.
All right. Do we have any more questions?
No. Okay. At this point.
All right. So before we get into what I bought and what I would never buy again, does anyone have questions on Cork Club? Because you have like a week to sign up if you want January shipping. And a lot of you have already signed up. If you have any other questions, throw them out there now. Because I'm going to grab some things to show you. And one of them is missing, but it was a no anyway, so it's totally fine.
You can't find it.
I can't find it because I probably got mad and threw it in the garbage.
Probably.
I was like, forget this. I don't care.
Or it's under a shelf somewhere. It fell on the floor and rolled somewhere.
I looked in the two logical places, which means it's in a very illogical place, but what are you going to do? So let me get my list out here. Okay. So in no particular order, things that I bought this year that I found extremely useful and also things that I feel were a giant waste of money. That is one of them. So in my quest for organization, which still has not happened for anyone keeping track, it's getting better. It's still not great. Remember my notebook? Remember the notebook from the end of last year? I still have it. It is still not destroyed. It is full. It's got all the ideas from this year. It's got notes for stuff. It has virtual retreat information. It has sketches this is Georgia. It has little tabs. This has been a blessing. I already bought next year's because I don't want it. This was this year's. It's done.
Yeah.
I'll start fresh.
Definitely.
I kept track of numbers. I kept track of goals. I wrote patterns in here. I knew where everything that I needed was. Yeah. I always keep my pen, and this is my favorite pen. I love these pens. You cannot beat them. They're gel pens and they're thick. They're because I write really hard and I scratch through. I cannot use mechanical pencils because I break them.
I hate them. Yeah.
They're awful. Whoever invented them, I'm sorry, but you did a terrible job. I don't like mechanical pencils at all. Nope. But this thing, it goes everywhere with me. It has been on many states. It has been in car trips, on planes. It has been in my tote bag. And because it has a thick hard cover, this is from Target. But I'm telling you, it's like nothing is destroyed and everything that I need is right here. So until the 31st, this will be my notebook. I bought my new one for next year and I'm very excited about it. This has been a number one. If you are trying to be organized, have one thing. Have like all the stuff that you need is in here, aside from my paper calendar, because I am a senior citizen and I still like paper calendars. I'm sorry.
I still use one.
I don't.
But I use my phone too.
I don't do the phone thing. I can't.
I do. I do both.
Never ask me to grab my phone and look at the calendar. It's not happening. I can't. I'm like, nope.
I actually have three.
I might.
A planner like that, but it's a planner.
Yeah, I have a planner too. Totally.
And I use my phone, and then I have a calendar on the wall that I write everything on too.
There is a calendar on the wall, which is for humor, but also to get an overview of dates. There is my paper planner. I have one for this year and one for next year. There is the 2 calendars, the whiteboard calendars on the wall, which is where I schedule everything. And Barb knows if I'm going out of town, she can look there.
Yep.
I write notes on my kitchen whiteboard so that Eric knows where I am. This has all of my notes in it. And occasionally I keep things in my phone, but they're more reminders than they are in the calendar.
Oh, okay.
Like I have a reminder when I have an appointment and I have an alarm on it, but I don't usually use the calendar.
Oh, I do it through the calendar.
The calendar drives me crazy. I don't like it.
It's on the calendar with an alert.
No.
With a follow-up alert.
Oh, I don't like it. No. Can't do it. I can't do it. Also, I really hate that Apple puts dates in for you. I don't care about holidays.
I know.
I don't have children in school. I don't need to know when it's Arbor Day. Like, just stop telling me. I don't need to know when it's a date in Canada. I don't live there. Stop telling me all of these holidays that mean nothing to me because they don't, unless it affects the mail or the bank, I don't care. That's really all we care about is mostly the mail. I don't even go to the bank that much. I just need to know if the post office is closed. So this was a definite yes for me. This was 100% a yes. Now, this thing, don't be all offended if you like some of the things that I don't like, because it's not about that. It's just about me having an opinion, and I have many. Yeah. You should be thankful I don't share all of them. This is the Tula Pink stiletto, which I thought was pretty cool because if you were traveling with it, well, it screws in here. So if you're traveling, whatever, or if you're putting it away, I hate this thing, and I'm going to tell you why. It never stays tight. It's constantly loose. The screw is horrible. And yes, it's a weapon, but that's fine. I have other stilettos. Exactly. It's always loose. I have almost lost this tip so many times. I don't like it. And it rolls on everything. You want to know what stiletto I like? Yeah. This one, because it's square and it has a cap and it's thick. And I like the one that I have from Hannah Woodworking because it's pretty. And even though it's round, it's chunky and it doesn't roll everywhere. Yeah. This thing rolls off. I don't like this thing. I really don't. Was it expensive? No. Is it going to end my life because I bought it and I'm going to go over budget? No. I don't like it. I really don't. I feel like it was a waste of my money. I'm not happy about it. I'm just going to tell you. I don't like it. It stays by the laser, and sometimes I pick things out with it because I don't care if I ruin it. The tip is already bent and I don't care. So I just wrote down a bunch of things as I was remembering them. This list probably started months ago. I bought HG9s for the classroom. Oh, we have a question. One is, what brand is it? Alex Anderson, the 4-in-1 essential tool. Yeah. They are not always easy to find. They are usually in the $20 range, but it's got a seam ripper, it's got a stiletto, it's square, it has a wooden iron, and it has a turning tool, and I love this thing. I have used one of these. And it doesn't roll off your table. Because it's square. Because she thought ahead. You got me hooked on those things. I love this thing. I love that thing so much. So I bought this year 2 HG9s for my classroom. I do not regret that at all, because now I have one here and I have one at home and I have a spare. And I'm so glad that I have an extra one because Shelly came from Texas to a retreat in April. I had a spare machine for her. I always have an extra machine. It's nice to not have to take the one from home, because the one from home is an older one. It's the version 1, which there's nothing wrong with it. It's an older machine. It needs more maintenance. These are brand new. They don't get used as much as that one. So they sound nice and smooth and they're great. And so no regrets on that. I'm glad that I have them here. I still love my HG9. It's still my favorite machine. And until something tops it, it's always going to be my number one. So it will be my number one until something better comes along. But so far nothing has. So, and there's no order here. I'm just randomly picking things. My Becky bases. Okay. I love my Becky bases. So listen, I literally, and I think I said this before, and I know I told Becky from Hannah Woodworking, I bought this because I thought it was a cool idea, and I like Becky, and I was like, I'll buy it. Oh, that's cute. Why not? I love to support my friends, and it's cute. I'm like, I'm sure it'll be fine. These are the most handy thing ever. You don't lose your stuff. And I traveled with these several times this year, and nothing fell off. And if they did, they fell over. And that was it. There are magnets under here. I don't know if you could see them. There's 3 rows of super strong magnets. This is screwed on. It holds everything. All of my stuff is there. I haven't lost any of my dies since I got these.
Which is shocking.
Which is shocking because I lose stuff constantly. I am a huge loser. I'm just going to tell you all that right now. I lose things all the time because I'm like, well, let me keep them in the bags and then I know what they are. And then I can't find the bag or the bag rips.
Yeah.
No. So 100%, if I had another press, I'd buy one for another press. I have 3. They all have their own Becky bases. 100% best purchase. The purple one is my favorite. That is out there. This is just the one that I grabbed. I also painted my cam snap presses this year, and I don't regret that at all because they're just pretty. And so far, they've held up nicely. They do get used. If they chip, they chip. I'll paint them again. I don't care. So I'm very happy about that. So Becky bases,
apparently
100%.
They're out of stock right now.
They're always out of stock because I blab my mouth about them all the time. And as soon as they come in stock, everyone goes and buys them. And they are a labor. They are a very intense process because Becky is a perfectionist. Be happy about that. She sands them and cuts them and she makes them so perfect that when she has them, they're limited quantities. And as soon as they sell out, it takes her a little while to stock them. So stalk her website and her Facebook page. And as soon as they're out there, don't hesitate. If you see that she announces she has them, get one because you may not get one for a long time. You have to also remember she also works full time. So this is, this is in her spare time that she's doing this. But her work is phenomenal and I would wait to buy one. Like I would have no problem just sitting and waiting. They are awesome. I'm glad that I snagged 3 of them. I don't know how I lucked out. And no, she did not do me any favors. I did get them on the website because I was like, I'm getting these. I saw them at a show and I was like, oh, they're cute. I don't know. And then I kept thinking about it. I'm like, man, I should have bought one. And then I bought them. So, okay. So since we're on the cam snap, and again, don't get mad at me. Okay. The rivet removal die set from Cam Snap. It is the only thing in history that I have purchased from Cam Snap that I did not like. Is it possible that it's user error? Yeah, it usually is. I'm not that bright sometimes. I probably didn't use it 100%. But here's the thing. If I can't figure it out within a few seconds, I'm not going to use it anyway. If it's difficult, I'm not going to want it. I demoed it here. I bought it because it's Linda Shell's fault. Linda Shell's like, did you know they made these? And I was like, all right, I'll buy one. I can't even find it. I don't even know where the die set went. I either got mad and threw it out or it's hidden somewhere. Could be there. Could be over there. I have no idea. I didn't care for it. I didn't care for it at all. I thought that it was difficult. It did not make my life any easier. So if you are thriving with your removal tool, congratulations. It did not work for me. I would not buy it again. Now, since we're there and you're thinking, well, then what do you do when you put in a bad rivet? This. That's it. These are needle nose pliers with side cutters. So, and these are you see how rusty they are? These are my favorite pliers. These are like my emotional support pliers. Like I can't lose them. I've had them forever. One of the few things I haven't lost. And they're pink. I use this part to like cut and crunch. And then I just take the pliers and I pop it out. So that is how I remove rivets right here. That's it. This works for me. You do what works for you. But for me, this is more than enough. I already owned it. I didn't have to buy those. So the rivet remover was a no for me. I would never buy it again. And I wouldn't recommend it to anybody. If you like it, you can talk to people about why you like it. I'm not going to. I just didn't like it. The cork cutting system that we bought out there, it has a name. I don't know what it is. I don't even use it anymore because Eric does all the cutting, but he seems pretty happy with it. So I think that was a good purchase. It was definitely thumbs up. He cuts cork and waterproof canvas pretty efficiently. He gets through it real quick. He's kind of got a system. And it's taken some tweaking, but he's super happy with it. So I think it was a win. I think that was the best thing because
I agree.
We used to have this bracket and you'd have to like make sure it was pushed back. And if you didn't, when you were cutting, it would move and it was just a whole thing. It worked. It was fine. But that's so much better. Such an easier thing to operate. So that was totally good. I have no idea why this list says my dog's name on it. I don't know why. It just says Roxy. I didn't
like her anymore.
I didn't purchase her this year.
No.
Nor did I actually purchase her. She was free. We found her on Craigslist. I don't know why her name is on here, but I would buy her again, 100%. I don't know why. It just randomly says cork cutting system. Yes, Roxy. It just says Roxy.
Maybe.
Some
Depends
days
on the day.
she does fart a lot, so and she smells terrible. Yeah, I have no idea why that's but I love her and I would definitely get another one. I was happy with that purchase. I don't know why she's on my list, but whatever. All right, and now I'm sorry, but I'm going to re-traumatize some of you. Do we remember this from the beginning of the year?
I can't remember what it does. I remember it, but I don't remember what it does.
It's for ears of animals.
Oh.
Yeah, remember this? I'm sorry. I had to re-traumatize myself, so I'm taking y'all down with me. This was that thing that somebody was like, this makes cutting notches so much easier.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Okay, first of all, it does not. It's not sharp. It did not cut through anything well. Second of all, it skeeves me out every time I think of what it's actually. It's for animal ears, which is just gross. Like, farmers do your thing, but like, I'm not a farmer. It did not do anything for me. It's to notch their ears, but for what purpose I don't understand, and please don't tell me. I don't want to know. Keep it to yourself. I don't want to know. But somebody in another group was raving about, and as soon as you tell me something is life-changing, I'm like, all right, I need to buy that. It was not.
It said it's for tagging animals.
Whatever. Okay. So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe we'll start that as a side business. I don't know. We'll tag your husbands. We'll tag your husbands to make sure that you know where they are.
Yeah, there you go.
It did not make my life any easier, and it just grosses me out, to be honest with you. I'm actually surprised I still have it. It's probably the cheapo in me that was like, well, don't throw it out. But what am I going to do with this?
I was going to say,
I'm going to go give it to a local farmer.
There you go. There you go.
For you. So, yeah. So that was my list. It's not like a huge comprehensive list, but it definitely those are the things that I've been thinking about throughout the year. Like, this was a waste of money and this wasn't. One of the other things, this is not really related to that, but it's taken me this long. One of you had asked a while ago, have you ever used the cam snap magnetic snaps that are also rivets?
Oh.
And I was like, I'm pretty sure I bought that die set and the rivets in the beginning of buying rivet presses when I was like, on a bender, and I was like, buy everything. Yeah. But then I never used them. So I was talking, Allie was here the other day and we were sewing and she just happened to bring this up and I'm like, somebody asked me about that on YouTube a while ago. I do own them. I do have the die set. My die set is actually marked as a sample because this is when she had first introduced it and it wasn't like an item on the website. It only came in rainbow and I only have this size, which I think is 18. I love how strong the magnets are and they look nice, whatever side, but
oh dear.
Guess what?
You ordered more.
Yeah. Because I don't remember things. And I was like, I think I liked that. And then I remembered I had ordered it. Oh, look, I ordered more. So I now have the same size set.
Did you order that?
Sometime in November.
I was going to say, it's not even open yet.
No. So it took a journey through Massachusetts. It was kind of on vacation for a while. So I have another 18 millimeter set. I now have silver. And I also have the 14 millimeter set. So to whomever asked me 18 years ago, do you like those? I do. I do. I like them so much that I bought them twice. So, yep. Yeah. So that's where my life is at. But I mean, they're very strong magnets and they look pretty. You can put them on anything. Yeah, right? Yank it. There you go. They're not for Barb, who can't open her purse ever. That keeps you from spending.
There you go.
You put these magnets on, no one's opening that. They're like, I can't spend money. So that's it. That's my that's all I got for you. I have nothing else. Next week will be our last of the year.
Oh my gosh,
which is crazy. Our first full year of YouTube, because we were doing Facebook last year. So next Friday is it's the season finale until we meet again in 2024. You will probably have a blooper video that is just about ready to go. Be forewarned, I burp a lot. I don't know why. I was very belchy this year. There's also a lot of bleeping out swear words, a couple of middle fingers, a couple of just dumb moments where you're just not sure what I'm thinking because I'm not sure either. But it's there for your entertainment. So that should be ready next week. And then we're also going to talk about numbers because what happened with 365 days of consistent posting? Did it work? Was it worth it? Would I do it again? We'll meet up on that. So that's going to be next week. And then we'll get ready for our New Year's Eve sew along. And then January 1st, I don't exist to the world. I'm taking the whole day off because I'm very excited. Very excited to not talk to anyone for a whole day.
Do I get Monday off?
Yeah, you can have the 25th off.
Can I?
Yeah.
Aw, thanks.
But don't take the 1st off. I mean, let's not push it. No, you must work on Christmas.
And New Year's?
They need their orders.
Somebody wants to know if they ordered it today, will they get it for the sew along? I'm like, I can do it today if you order it, but
can we ship it?
Yes.
Yes. I make you no promises. No. It is still the holiday season. The holiday season, I feel, goes until the first week of January. So if you order it today, I will give it to Barb to ship today. Right. I see email notifications. I will go print it, but I will not be held responsible, and I'm not going to promise you anything. Because unfortunately,
it may not.
It may. I mean, I feel like it's a good chance, but I'm not going to say it's 100% guaranteed.
No,
that's all I can tell you. I ordered this package in November, and I just got it a couple days ago because it took a journey. I don't even know if it says. So, okay, well, yeah, it does not even say. I think it was before Black Friday or right around Black Friday, and it just came now because that's what happens sometimes. It's the mystery of the Postal Service that we can't answer. So I'll do my best. Whatever orders are in here, I'll print them for Barb right now. That's about all I can do. So
that's it.
That's it. That's all I got for you. So, anything else?
No.
No. Okay. If you have questions, email me. Remember, I can't answer your notes.
Oh, they do say they love using those magnets on the Jane wallet.
I think these are so cute. I love them. So I'm very excited to have found and also repurchased this die set. I'm not rich, folks. I'm just irresponsible. So that's it. Zoom Christmas party is tonight. So I will see you not Zoom. Hold on. Patreon Zoom Christmas party. It's my Patreons between 6 and 7:30. Yes.
Chris would like to know, remind her what your rivet press is. Is it Cam Snap?
Cam Snap. Cam Snap tabletop press. This one was originally ugly green. It is now aqua.
Pretty aqua.
It is now pretty aqua. So
with a purple tray.
With a purple tray. And the other one is coral with a blue tray, maybe.
This one's our colors.
Oh no, the other one is coral with a coral. It's a very sparkly one.
Oh. Okay.
I don't know. I have no idea what's happening.
This one's aqua and purple.
Exactly.
Aqua and purple.
Are we good? I think we're good.
I think we're good because we're getting just crazy.
Exactly.
Merry
Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. All Kwanzaa. I don't know, all the holidays.
Yep.
So
happy holidays.
I said it. I said it on the internet. I said Merry Christmas on the internet.
There you go.
Uh-oh.
Everybody stay well and have fun.
Yes, and we'll see you next Friday, and we will wrap up this year.
How do you get to the Patreon Christmas party?
The Patreon information is in there. You have to go to your Patreon app, and you can search Zoom, and it should come up for you. And it has times and all the information. So I'm not going to put that out here because it's only for the Patreons.
Right.
So if you go to Patreon, you can search the information.
Yeah.
All right.
Bonnie did place her order.
Perfect. I will get it printed.
We'll get it done.
All right.
Take care, guys.
Bye.
Happy holidays.